told me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best because I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time, be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork, fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on, smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when the breath on the set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm the sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Till the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely my
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
You're set. 19. Come on, D. Check. Lucky.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
Now it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Give the sack to Kamoko Toure.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Let's go.
3rd and long, it's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Returnable for Thomas. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Lamar Miller with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the pass.
Watson now to throw. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. There he goes, right side. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, It's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. So they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Watch twist.
On second down, here's Miller. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
The Texans here on 3rd down putting an extra defender in the secondary. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he's got his man, Hilton. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 35-yard line. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
65.
On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater. Campbell making the catch. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
Play fake. Bridgewater. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Zerline now for the PAT. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Johnson on the counter. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field, and that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
24. Check curls. 58. Mike. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the line.
From the gun, here's Watson. Being chased out left. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Reset. 19. Here we go, team. 19.
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson, it's complete to Fuller. Past the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the red zone now, Watson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Mike, set. 19. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Shoot.
Here's Watson. Dancing to his left. Touchdown, Texans. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is cut to 1 at 14-13. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards. Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll try and run for it with Miller. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 1 man in the backfield, that's Miller, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he takes it in for a Colts score. Lamar Miller with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Zerline good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Texans 13.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 2nd and 10, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. Now the ball comes loose, and the Colts pick it up, and they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. The pass receiver turned into a runner, then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yards.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
49, check 49, check 49.
Watson on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not.
Nowhere nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Luke Kuechly in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
He finds his target, Fuller. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 29-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Watson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Back to throw, Watson. Steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Throwing again on second down. Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now Watson throwing on third and long. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Sets up fourth down.
Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on fourth.
It's just me and you.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So, boy, that's already the third they burned here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the fourth quarter. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Watch the slip. Watch the slip.
A first down carry now for Miller. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Now Bridgewater. On the crossing route, complete. It's Duncan.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Now a handoff looking right. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 23.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up 1st downs.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And the catch made by Hilton. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another 1st down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
At the 5-yard line.
Miller, the lone setback. One man in the backfield. That's Miller. 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Get the set. 18. Too little, cut.
To throw is Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. After the sack on first down, Watson, and the pressure gets to him again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Throwing on 3rd and long. Watson. Forced out to his left. Now it's caught inside the 25. Then he will finally be taken down. But how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the third quarter. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Johnson. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's the tag. 18. Come on. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans get a bit closer. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. Out of the gun, Watson. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
That's it, baby. We got work.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Miller. And an alley to run. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Lamar Miller. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for first. On play action, it's Bridgewater. Complete to Hilton. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Bridgewater on first down. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
4th and goal at the 3-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Clayton Gathers makes the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. A shotgun snap for Watson. Buying time, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Darius Leonard has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Watson now throwing on 3rd and long. He's got Fuller. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position.
Ready? Go, go, go. 36.
Bridgewater here to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. There defensively to knock it away was the safety, Justin Reed. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, and it's 3rd down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Bridgewater. He's got it to Hilton. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They go play action. Bridgewater. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. The intended receiver, Taywan Taylor, but it's going to be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They'll get this out wide to Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Taywan Taylor, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well, Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Throwing again is Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Good job. Good job, man.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
One last throw here for Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Colts, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Houston, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.